it's Friday. And if it's Friday, it must be Star Trek Voyager recap day. And or if you go back and watch Star Trek Next Generation recap day. And I still have to go back and recap. A couple of my favorite episodes were the ones that got garbled. And I really need to go back and do those. But anyways, here we are, Season 3, Disc 4, Episode 152, The Warlord. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to like this one. You have to excuse the fact that I was waiting for my computer to do updates, and I hope this all works, because usually sometimes after an update it doesn't work. But I'm sitting there going, I can't sing, I can't hum, I can't hold the tune, but Voyager is my favorite theme song. Absolute favorite theme song of the Star Trek. So anyways, we are up to, if I can do this correctly, Warlord 152, and there is no voiceover. We're just going to approach Neelix and Kim on the holodeck, enjoying some beverages. And I'm a little concerned about this episode, but we have to. Hey, if anybody out there, if you're still here, thank you, Selena. If you're still here, I want to know if you'd all show up to do a live. You watch it on your TV or your computer, and I watch it on mine, and we go through it as the episode airs. A live thing, maybe a Saturday night or so, going through the episode where, maybe, 7 of 9 comes in. I don't know. But leave your comments, and the thing, I would like at least 10 or 15 people to show up. The last time I tried to do a live thing, nobody showed up. I've also got a survey out there that nobody has seen. I haven't even seen it. I wanted to do, totally off topic, I wanted to do an interview with this guy. And he did an interview with a channel that had 100 subscribers at that time. I do not know what they have now. But at that time, I had more than 100. And I was hopeful that he would do my channel, because my channel was a bigger channel and my channel was a book channel. However, 0 people responded to my survey because YouTube did not show it to anyone. So no one had the opportunity to answer said survey. And I never asked him. And we are getting into, in a month or 2, no, maybe 3, all right, 4 months, he's going to be massively busy. Come June, he's going to be massively busy. Oh, wait a second. We're in September? No. We're in August? No. I think this is going to air in September. Oh, well, he may be free by now. The show ends in September. So anyways, just don't mind me. I was doing 101 uses for a cat, and I wanted to do someone just to give a hug to. Well, I need to rephrase that. Someone to give a hug to when they want to give you a hug. But if you want to know, my gal pal sat here. Mommy's doing the video. This is the only video where they're not and cannot. There's no big table here. It's just a little folding table. But someone finally settled in and got. Do we not look sad? Mommy's doing a video and she's not paying attention to me. Wow. Good Lord. So wait a second. Let's get going. Okay, so Neelix is getting a little bit of a foot rub, and Kim and Paris are there with him on the holodeck in this resort area. And Paris has the computer add some scantily clad females to the holodeck, and Kim and Paris talk about his volleyball playing, and they hear some music playing, and we get interrupted. All senior officers report to the bridge. So it looks like Cass senses something or something, but she's taking care of her plants. When the doctor pages her to come to sick bay, they're getting incoming patients. So that's the ship they see. Okay, so everybody, Kim and Paris, come to the bridge, and there's no. It's just in your face when you talk, in your face when you talk, in your face when you talk. So they come on the bridge, and Tuvok is saying, Captain, sensor readings indicate that the radiation inside the alien vessel is rising to toxic levels, and the life signs of the passengers are growing weak. And then B'Elanna says their warp core is heavily damaged. It's leaking drive plasma and gamma radiation. It could breach at any time. And Chakotay says, can we beam the passengers out through all the radiation? Kim says, not from here. We'll have to get within 5,000 kilometers. Tuvok says, at that range, we'll be at risk if their engine core explodes. Lieutenant, take us in range. Aye, Captain. So Kim says, I'm diverting power to the targeting scanners, trying to get a pattern lock. There's still too much interference. A little closer, Tom. Captain, I'm reading energy buildup in the radiation chamber. Mr. Kim, I've got a lock initiating transport. They're losing antimatter containment. Shields up. Move us away. Aye, Captain. And the alien ship goes kaboom. So Kim announces that he was able to transport all 3 passengers and had beamed them directly into sickbay. So Cass and the doctor are running around treating all of the 3 patients. One patient does die. His tissue damage was too extensive. She's a little upset that the guy died. He said there was nothing he could do. It was too late. So then Janeway has the survivors come in for tea, and he says it was horrible. They chased us a half across the sector. We were finally able to fight them off, but not before our own ship was damaged. Who was chasing you? This particular trade route has always been plagued by mercenaries and thieves. I'm sure they wanted to take our ship and hold us for ransom. I'm a very prominent physician, and Nori is a cousin of the Autorock, whatever that is. We're grateful for your help, Captain. We're complete strangers to you, but we owe you our lives. I regret that we weren't able to save your husband as well. I know your medical staff did everything they could, and Cass has been so kind and compassionate that I don't think I could be making it through this time without her. I certainly hope that bringing us home won't take you too far out of your way. Not at all. We'll reach Hila in 2 days. When we arrive, I am sure the Arctic will want to thank you personally. I'd be very pleased to meet him. And then we're back on the holodeck. So B'Elanna shows up on the holodeck, and Neelix is upset that she is not Kes joining the his they had a lunch date, and Kes says that she's uh busy. She was treating the patients. She was getting to know the patients that those passengers. Oh, she's giving them a little bit of a tour. So then she joins Neelix for lunch, but she's really preoccupied with her patients. She says she has a headache, and Neelix wants to do some other things, and she wants to show the visitors the aeroponics bay. So Neelix suggests that he join them, and he keep the two visitors along with Kes, and show them a good time. And he suggests all different activities. And Kes says, "You do this all the time. You're jealous now. You don't want me spending time with other people." Blah, 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 blah. It's like, what? He just offered to help her entertain these people. She wants no part of it. She wants to do it alone. Oh, I forgot to add at the end of that Kes suggests they spend some time apart. So then we get a captain's log, star date, and I skipped over the ship. They always show the ship, and I skipped over it. Sorry, my foobar. Captain's log stardate 50348.1. We've entered orbit around the Alari and sent a message to the Arcot inviting him to visit the ship. Instead, he'll be sending an official representative. And they're in transporter room, and the Arcot might have a personal interest in our welfare. I'm sure he does. Our message made it clear that you both had recovered. And Kes comes. So then they beam the guy aboard. Then Cass, of all people, opens fire on everybody. And then Tuvok says, Commander, there has been phaser fire in transporter room 1. Cass takes her badge off, and she says they've activated security alert. And where is it? She says, secure the door like I showed you. And it's a little bit of a different voice coming out of Tess, and they do a transport. So Kim says to them that they're beaming a shuttlecraft into space. And then we're back in transporter, and Cass has everybody get on the transporter pad, and they do a transport. So Paris tries to track them and stop them, but they have gone to warp speed. And then we're on the shuttle. Chakotay says, set a course to follow them. Paris says, I can't find the shuttle's warp trail. There's no sign of them on long-range sensors. Tuvok says, transporter room to bridge. Ensign Martin and Illa representative are dead. The captain is injured and has been beamed to sickbay. Acknowledged, Chakotay says. Kim says it looks like the shuttle's plasma injectors were remodulated to suppress their warp signature. You wouldn't think it was possible to make those adjustments so quickly. It takes some incredible precise calibration. Someone on that shuttle really knows what they're doing. So then she says, they didn't follow us. And Tess says, of course not. They're still trying to figure out what happened. What's wrong? Does your head hurt? No, it's nothing. Aiden should take a look. I said it's nothing. You're worse than Talaxium. We're in position over the encampment now. It looks like Veshon's assembled the troops right on schedule. 400 men just waiting for your orders. Maybe we should give them some. And she beams some guy aboard. So then they beam the guy aboard, and he says, I heard your ship had been destroyed. And she's like, you didn't think I'd let a little thing like that, stop us. And that's Terran. The host body you were expecting is dead. Fortunately, a young nurse was with me at the right time, and she provided me with a very suitable replacement. Oh, I'm relieved you survived. Oh, I'm sure you are, at least for your own ambitions. I want you to advance my troops to the northern edge, but we can't go ahead with the attack now. Are you questioning my orders? This is insane. We've been planning this for years. Every move, every detail. And now suddenly our leader's a little girl. He's going off a little bit. So then she gives him a headache for trying to refute the fact that they have to follow a girl. The fact that Tess has telepathic abilities and can do stuff to people telepathically. So we're in the ready room. Catherine obviously has been healed. I had the wrong room, but anyway, this guy is explaining. She doesn't understand how Cass can be involved. Oh, sorry, I skipped another ship. We're holding a meeting with Demis, the Ark's eldest son and heir, in an effort to understand the recent hostility activity. I'm sure they really wanted to kill my father. He's the one they invited up to your ship. Nuri and Aiden are known to be political extremists. How could Kess be involved? I may be able to explain that. You mentioned that she was the third patient when he died. That's right. I believe your crew member hasn't been inhabited by the consciousness of a very dangerous man named Term. Who is that? What does that have? What does he want with Cass? Neelix asked. Oh, I know exactly what he wants: to overthrow my family's government and reinstate himself as the autocrat. He has held the title before. Tyron ruled Italy over 2 centuries ago. He was a war hero, a brilliant military leader. He brought security and stability during a difficult time in our history. But in peacetime, he began to treat his subjects as enemies. He became convinced that everyone was a potential traitor. Chakotay says at some point your people must have rebelled. And Demis says they did, led by one of my ancestors. They laid siege to the Imperial Hall for over a year and the city around it and burned it to the ground. But Tyrion was finally defeated. And yet you believe that he, or at least his consciousness, has survived? During his reign, he became obsessed with his own mortality. He spent most of his time and Alari's resources searching for a way to overcome death. Now he's discovered a way to transfer his own mind into somebody else's body, as he's done with Cass. So he's controlling her completely. But she knew things about Cass. He knew things about Cass's life. He acted like Cass to fool us all. The real Cass must still be in there somewhere. Taryn may have access to her memories and her feelings, but the Cass you know is lost. I'm sorry. Could somebody tell me, just out of curiosity, how they decide what the aliens look like? Why does he have, obviously for breathing or whatever? What was their intent here? What was the artist's intent, or production's costume, or the writers and the hat? What was the purpose of all this? And someone brought up a good point. Well, it was for a different show. Uh, on Star Trek, they got away with the universal translator BS. But on Stargate, they didn't have those, but everybody still spoke English. But anyways, I was just wondering what makes them decide one planet's going to be fishy, or one planet's going to have tails, or one planet's going to do this, or one planet's going to do that, or one planet's going to have what? How do they decide? Who makes those decisions? So Janeway says she's not willing to accept that Kes is gone yet, and she asked the doctor to examine the body of the man who died. We need more information about how the transfer works if we want to get Kes back. And the other guy says that's certainly worth exploring, Captain. But our priority must be to stop Tyrion, by force if necessary. Voyager is a very powerful ship. You may be considering force, but my only intention is to rescue Kes and remove Terran's consciousness. That should suit both our interests. Demis says, you don't understand what's at stake here, Captain. You must help me to defend my people. So everybody comes to the bridge. Paris says they entered orbit, they dropped their shields and cut their engines. There's a residual trace of transporter activity. It looks like 4 people beamed from the shuttle to the surface. They're in the main chamber of the Imperial Hall. Janeway says lock onto those patterns and beam them back to Voyager. Kim says I can't. Some kind of interference has gone up around the whole structure. He's after my family. My father and my brothers are down there. So 4 of them come into the Great Hall and start firing at everybody. So then Kes walks up to the guy and says, Venerated Autarch, I've been looking forward to meeting you for a long time. And then kills the guy. And then Kes is like, where's his brother? He should have been here. Get him out of here. Lock him up. I think I've located the brother. According to security logs, Demis was transported to Voyager an hour ago. He's going to be a problem, Kes says, but we'll have to deal with him another time. Give me the talisman. And Aiden takes a metal collar from the guy's neck. And Kes says, this was stolen from me 200 years ago. I've dedicated every moment since to putting it back where it belongs. Let's see. This was stolen from me 200 years ago, and I have dedicated every moment to putting it back where it belongs. And then Aiden goes, loyalty and service to the new Autarch. And Nora says, loyalty and service. Okay. So, and Kes is in her black bodysuit now, and she's telling the guys, I want you to pay a visit to my Euro supporters in the Euro province, give them all new titles, whatever I promised, and of course, I couldn't overlook your faithful service. I think the title First Castilian suits you well. I feel like I finally come home again. The trouble is I left it. My portrait should be hanging here. As for the rest of this nonsense, it's nothing more than a useless display of wealth. Let's look at it. Oh, I wanted to just bring up a really small teensy-weensy problem. Although, I mean, hypothetically, it doesn't. I mean, because this is over in a 40-minute episode, it doesn't really matter, sort of, kind of. But Tessa's species only last a few years. Isn't she like only 1 or 2 or something like that? And they only last till 7 or 8. So he's gonna have to find a new body in a few years anyway. If this was supposed to, I mean, I don't know. I'm just bringing up these questions. I mean, of all the bodies to choose, of course she has her telepathic abilities. So, she gets a couple of really good, strong episodes for herself. And she's always a bad person when she gets these episodes. The destruction one is coming. It's not for a while yet, but it's coming. I'm trying to show it, but it's too blurry. She's just running along. She's like, my portrait belongs here, and it looks like she's taking curtains down or tapestry down. I have no idea. And she's throwing things and breaking things and stuff. I have no idea. But it's going too fast to show. Uh I want it all cleared out of here. Everything should look as it did during my reign. Do they know what her reign looked like 200 years ago? Is there anybody alive from her reign? And how did she convince all these people to support her reign? Again, I'm a little confused. So Tess or Karen or whatever that is go to break a vase of flowers. And we know how much Kess loves flowers. So instead, she takes a flower, runs down the hallway, and comes to this chick. And if this had been today, because considering this was like 30 years ago, if this had been today, my other question is, would there be a little situation here? Would there have been a little physical situation here if this was today's thing? She gives her the flower. I trust you'll take all of that. We need some new servants, too. What is it? You don't look happy. I'm happy that we've accomplished our goal, but there have been some unexpected changes, and I don't know how they'll affect our future. I don't even know if I'm still your wife. Forgive me, I haven't considered how unsettling this must be for you. Don't worry, you know how much I depend on you. Your loyalty and encouragement have helped me make this victory possible. I'll share everything with you as I always promised. And they're about to kiss when they get interrupted. So she brings this guy in. Amaran, you and I haven't had a chance to get acquainted. I'm Terran. Terran, I like the way you said that. You and I didn't get off to a very good start, did we? You murdered my father right in front of me. I shouldn't have let you watch it. I'm sorry, but his death was necessary to make room for his successor. Damis is the rightful heir, not you. How many times have people said that same thing to you? It must have been hard to hear every day, the constant reminder that your brother is destined to be a ruler just because he was lucky enough to be born first. I don't think that's fair, do you? It's the law. It doesn't have to be. It can change. Demis is off hiding on some alien ship, and you're here with me. I'm sure it's an opportunity you've always dreamed of to prove that you're really the natural leader and not just a weak copy of your father. Now you can have the chance if you're willing to take it. You mean if I join you? You have so much to offer. Your heritage would help solidify my claim, and in return, I could give you power, real power, to control the lives of millions of people, to reward your friends, to punish your enemies. Everything you want can be yours for the asking. Everything. Okay. He could just do the transfer thing and leave, but he might like Kess's telepathic abilities. But again, if he's looking towards the long run of things, I don't know if they know that Kess's lifespan is not long. I have these questions. She's hanging all over him, seducing him. I don't know how her wife is gonna deal with all that. Because if he was a guy, would he be doing all that stuff if he was a guy? But he can just do the transfer memory thingy again. But anyway, here I've got the ship, and you know what the ship means. I was lacking in the last couple of times, but now I'm here with the ship. Captain's log supplemental. Demis has decided to remain on Voyager for the time being, but continues to monitor the worsening situation on Alari. This coup attempt is turning my people against each other. They're splitting into factions, mine and Terrence. Whom does the law recognize as the autocrat? Officially, I inherited my father's title upon his death. But this isn't a matter of law, it's about loyalty. Some people will follow whoever has more power, and right now that's Term. He's gaining support every day. He's already recruited some of my less reliable allies, which also includes my brother Amron. Your brother, I assumed he'd been killed. So did I, until I learned otherwise from sources in Alari. Terrence spared his life, no doubt, in order to win his loyalty. Amron's always been easily sprayed. And you believe he would betray you? That's very possible, Demas says. And if he does, there'll be no way to avoid a civil war. I must strike now before Talon is fully prepared. There must be alternative ways to war. Before you send in your fleet, I suggest we hear from the doctor and consider the possibility of removing Terran from Kess safely. Let's go check out sick bay. So the doctor is explaining, I've identified the transfer mechanism. This cortical implant was automatically activated at the moment of death. It enhanced Terran's neural pattern and sent it out along the peripheral nerves. The actual transfer took place to these bioelectric microfibers. When they came in direct contact with Cass, they transmitted Terran's pattern up through her nervous system and into her brain. He's showing the bioelectrical microfibers. I assume Terran would implant a device like this in his new body as quickly as possible. Perhaps we can use that to our advantage. My thoughts exactly. This synaptic simulator will tap into the implant in Kess's body and remove the alien neural pattern. Then her own consciousness can take over. Yes, but how close do you have to get to use this device? To be fully effective, would have to come in direct contact with her skin. If we could get anywhere near her, I'd use a Thorin rifle to absolute sure. Not if you want my help. Kess is a member of my crew, under my protection. I'm sorry she got caught in the middle of this, Captain, but too many other innocents' lives have already been lost, including my father's. Then let's work together to prevent any more deaths. Don't risk the life of your soldiers until you exhausted every other option. What do you suggest? Tuvok says, if Tyrion is anticipating an attack by your fleet, he may not be guarding as carefully against individual infiltration in the Imperial Hall. I believe I would be able to get close enough to Kess to use the doctor's device. Your knowledge of the hall and its defenses would be invaluable to us. Why don't they let the doctor go? That just occurred to me. He's got his emitter now. He's got his new toy. He can't be hurt or killed. And he could go down disguised as anyone and get close to Cass. You know, that's a thought. They could have done it. I guess it's Tuvok. We'll see. We have to go look. I don't know yet. Ah! So that's what the guy looks like in real life. So why do you have a portrait of yourself on the wall if that's not what you look like? Oh, that's what he looks like in his brain. But like I said, Kess's body doesn't have that long of a lifespan. So Aiden is doing an exam, I guess, and he says the new cortical implant looks fine. Let me just make sure it's connecting properly to the nerve waves. Do something about these headaches while you're at it. They make it difficult to concentrate. That's an entirely different problem. This body isn't accepting your neural pattern very easily. She wasn't a willing host like the others. She's been resisting me, all right. I can feel her in the back of my mind, somewhere like a trapped animal rattling her cage. She's a lot of spirit. It's an innovative. Your neural pattern may become unstable if you stay in this house. Now that you've got the transfer mechanism in place, I suggest you use it to move to a more compatible body. No, I like this one with its unique abilities, but I'm telling you, she's only got a short lifespan. Why don't they bring that up? So, uh, she brings up the fact that she looks like a child. I've been fighting worse battles than this. I was born. When the doctor said I wouldn't live past my first year, I proved them wrong. Even when my parents thought I was too sickly to be worth caring for, I survived in the streets. Even when my ungrateful subjects forced me into exile, I refused to accept defeat. I won't surrender to this little girl. She really should choose a different body, but you know. So then we're having a council meeting, I guess. Demis has acquired 2 more ships. There are reports that his fleet are massing behind the 5th moon. We should make a preemptive strike. Not on the basis of an unsubstantiated rumor. Let him come to us. We'll be ready. I'm told the Viceroy Gurnard is ready to give you his support in exchange for more territory. When did corruption become so commonplace? My people are crying out for moral leadership. I should make an example out of this viceroy. What's wrong? There's someone, Taryn, there's someone familiar presence in this room, not any of you. Someone in this body's previous life. Someone she knew well. Seal the room. We have an uninvited guest. Okay. So she 100% believes that Tuvok is in the room. And she's walking around lifting everybody's face thingies, veils. She's someone very good at concealing himself and his thoughts, a disciplined, logical mind. Again, why didn't they use the doctor? The doctor doesn't have any thoughts that she can hear. He's a hologram. I'm telling you, they should have used the doctor. So they find Tuvok, and Tuvok puts the thing on Kess's skin, and they remove the device, and they reveal Tuvok. So Tuvok got the device on her for a couple of seconds, and they remove it, I guess, before anything is done. And they're like, "Who helped you? I had no assistance. What will Janeway do when you don't come back? Send someone else? Join Demis in assault? I have no knowledge of the captain's plan. She must have discussed alternative strategies with you before you came down. She did not. I suppose I could threaten you or torture you, but I doubt that would make any difference. You are correct. Fortunately, I have other options. With these new abilities, it's a simple matter to reach into someone's mind. With some people, it's effortless. Others require a little more work." And she grabs onto him, and she tries to break into Tuvok's mind, and then she kisses Tuvok, and Tuvok starts a mind meld, and they communicate a little bit that Kess is trying to fight, and he loses the hold. Up, got a ship. You know what that means. Captain's log, stardate 50361. Lieutenant Tuvok hasn't reported for a scheduled rendezvous, and we've been unable to contact him. We're now considering other more forceful options. Our team will beam down to the surface approximately 2 meters from the palace. Demas and his advance guard will meet us there. Captain, I request permission to go with you on the rescue team. I have basic combat training in Talax. Alright, very basic. But I've also been participating in the tactical exercises with the crew. And besides, he has a personal stake in Kess. And Janeway says, alright, consider yourself drafted. She knows how much Neelix loves Kess, so she says, consider yourself drafted. But Demis says the detection grid will make a surprise attack difficult. Well, then we'll have to find a way to knock out that grid. I've been scanning it for weaknesses. The system goes through a maintenance cycle every 10 hours. There are a few seconds when it might be vulnerable to a narrow EM pulse. Bridge to the captain, you have an incoming transmission. Well, then Kess calls. Captain, you failed. What do you mean? I'm still in control, and your little device was useless. Tuvok is my prisoner. I suggest you call off your next rescue mission before you lose any members of your crew. You've made a bad guess, Terran. There will be no more rescues. My guess is you've discovered the convenient weakness in the detection grid. If you attempt to take advantage of it, I'll have twice as many soldiers waiting for you. If this was meant to be a trap, why tell us about it? I'm not really a monster, she says. I have no quarrel with Voyager. Your crew did save my life once. My ship was about to explode. I haven't forgotten that. This is a friendly warning, Captain, but it's the last one. Now, I strongly suggest that you accept your losses and be on the way. You have 30 seconds to leave orbit. Okay. So then she's like, send 2 of my warships to intercept Voyager. You're not well. If you can do anything about this pain, then leave me alone. You need to sleep. No, she's there when I sleep. She? Cass, who else? You can't stay awake for the rest of your life. The Voyager's leaving orbit, then let them go. Yes, sir. But with all due respect, Demas is on that ship. Our warship's on position to destroy it. I told them they could go. I kept my word. I don't have to explain myself to you. Now get out. She has a massive headache. So they're doing the you talk, you talk, you talk. They're not showing both people. I hate when they don't show both people. But Cass is in her regular clothes and she's talking to Tyrion. You're losing. Why won't you admit it? I will admit that you surprised me. Who would have imagined such a fierce determination existed in that small body? Don't continue to underestimate me. Release me or I'll force you out. My dear, why should we be enemies? Why waste the energy in conflict when we could achieve so much more? You're contemptible, Tyrion. I won't be any part of your plans. You're already a part of them. You and I have killed together, remember? And you will continue to serve my will. You have no choice. Wouldn't it be easier to join me? That may work with others, but it won't work with me. So you insist on making this battle? How foolish. This is a battle I intend to win, Kess says. Brave words. You've been an annoyance to me, nothing more. I've been more to you than that, and you know it. I'm fighting you with every bit of strength I have, and it's wearing you down. You're becoming more unstable every day. The headaches are almost more than you can stand. I've suffered pain in my life. It's going to take more than headaches to stop me. I know all about your life, Karen. Let me see if I can get Kess. I know all about your life. I know about your suffering. It doesn't justify what you've become. You're a monster, Tyrion. I have no compassion for you. And I don't ask for any. What I need from you, I already have your body and your mind. You may have my body, but you'll never have my mind. I'll never surrender my mind. You may resist and try and fight me, but I will defeat you. I will not be brought down by a child. You're already deteriorating, and it's only going to get worse. I find little crack in your defenses. You feel yourself crumbling within, your sanity slipping away. Oh, look! Finally, a view of both of them talking to each other. So he comes to. You were in such a deep sleep, I had to use a stimulant to bring you out of it. Your neural stress levels are extremely erratic. This has gone too far. You must transfer out of this body. So she makes him bleed. She punishes him. I told you not to say that ever again. As you can see, I'm in full command of my facilities. This momentary lapse will pass, and I'll be stronger than ever. He was only trying to help her. She has gathered the council. She's handing out beverages. My friends, we have much to celebrate tonight. Our recent victory, the consolidation of power among those who are loyal to us, and the fact that Alari is posed on the brink of what will be the greatest era of prosperity. But there's another occasion that calls for celebration, one that is perhaps the most joyous. I'd like to present my husband-to-be. She brings the brother in? Good God. I'd like to present my husband-to-be, and kisses him. Excuse me, isn't she supposed to be married to this one? Don't you worry about this one getting jealous and this one doing something violent? Don't you worry about this one? Uh, Don't be upset. It's only a political alliance. Amaran will help bring support of Demis' troops. Tell me you still love me. I love you still. Amaran and Nori, you both have been essential to my success, and I don't want you to be close friends. I want all of us to be very close. I Nori, don't make me doubt your loyalty. I'm not listening to you. Tell me you still love me. Of course I still love you. I want to live, don't I? So it's going to be a menage a trois situation. Pledge your love and loyalty to me. And then Resh says, ships are approaching. 20, it's Demis fleet. So the guy comes in and says, Demis troops, ships are coming in and Voyager's coming in. And we've been outnumbered. I've always fought against the odds. My fleet will defeat them. All the same, I recommend taking precautions. We should get you to a reinforced shelter. This is a celebration to announce my marriage. I won't let Demis make me run like some frightened animal. And let's continue the party. Okay? It's just weird. So she tells the guy to sit down and enjoy dinner. She's not going to run. And then she wants to know about her charitable projects. And she wants to know, when are they going to break ground on the new library? I want people to know I have their welfare at heart. Tomorrow we'll send in an edict. Every citizen must have a garden. A garden? I love plants. I love flowers. Anything that grows. Sometimes I felt most content when we were watching those seedlings grow in their aeroponics. And that's Cass breaking through. They've made it through our defenses. They're sending down ground forces. That's impossible. You're lying. I'm sending additional troops to the defensive positions, activating full security measures. That ought to hold them off. Now, anyone who leaves this room will be shot as a traitor. Okay? He's like, we all need to go into a secure place. And she's like, this is a trick, a ruse of some kind. That's what they're doing. They're creating a distraction to draw my attention away from their real plan. They must have sent an infiltrator. We have an intruder. I know you're here somewhere, Tuvok. You don't realize how perceptive I've become. I know you're here. Okay? So Paris rescues Tuvok. So she's yelling at Kes to stay with me, Terran. And Kes is still here. And Nora says, fight it. You have to fight it. So they've all beamed down, and Janeway says, do you have the device ready? Neelix shows it. Some of the people try to escape. Chakotay says, I'll cover you. We've got to find a doctor and get you stabilized or transferred to a new host. This is hard to cover all the action. We'll just skip through all the action. So Neelix comes in and stuns Kes. And he puts the device on Kes. Kes is like, no, he's not gone. He's moved into someone else before you use this. He wanted you to think he's been destroyed, but he's hiding in a new host. I know you too well, Terran. Did that work? So Tess tells, I don't know if it worked. I got confused there for a second. But Neelix says he's gone, and Tess says no, he's moved to another body. So then Kes goes over and puts the device on him, and he screams, and it's over. Tess takes the collar off and gives it to him. So we end the episode with Kes and Tuvok. She's been trying to work on the meditation stuff, and she's still got some conflicts going. And that's how the episode ends. I hope you will tune in next week for the Q and the Gray. when Q takes Janeway to the Civil War and tries to do some stuff with her. He's a big, huge pest. And then the week after that, we have the macrocosm. And I want to know if you were able to answer any of my questions. I had quite a few. I'm not expert as some of you are. And if you could please watch If Then Later today. If you like this author, you might like that author. There's over 100 of them now. More than 100, probably close to 200, but the first couple weren't numbered right. But anyway, it's a long story. And also check out In Death, JD Robb, Eve Dallas, Character Explorers every Saturday. I did review them all, and then I went back and decided to spoil all the characters. That's on Saturday. And Sunday is unboxing. Monday is Flashback Monday. I could use some suggestions for that. And every night at 7:45 on the D. Louise Book Series channel, we're talking Diana Gabaldon's Echo in the Bone. Go, Written in My Own Heart's Blood, or Go Tell the Bees That I Am Gone. I started in the middle of Echo in the Bones because that's where season 7 had ended, and I had finished binging. By the time we get through Bees, if the new one hasn't come out yet, and there's been no word as of yet about it, then I will start back again with Outlander. So have a good one.